Okay, just started the new session, and what we're going to do now, we got the base plate put on. We're going to wipe some JB weld off our hand, and we're going to start building the inside of the carburetor. First thing I'm going to do is put my jets in. Now, all this stuff's been cleaned already. It's soaked in the mixture for 2 days. And then got sprayed off with brake cleaner. So these are flat heads. You just get your flathead screwdriver. Where's my favorite flathead screwdriver? There it is. And you always want to look down here and make sure you don't have any little bits of debris or something in the seats of this stuff, which looks good. So I just drop them down there, and you gotta kind of futz with them a little bit, get them turned around the right way. Now these jets are brass, so don't cross thread them. Just drop them down in there and just lightly let them start, because you'll know when you got them going the right way, because they just screw right in. Just give them a good then, same for this one. Just drop it down where it's supposed to go. Get it in position with the screwdriver. Sometimes they can be a test, but they usually start pretty easily. I've never cross-threaded one. So use a good screwdriver, not use one that's going to chew it up. That one. Alright, jets are in. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put in this discharge ball for the accelerator pump. It goes down. This is the accelerator pump. It goes in right there. This thing goes right in this little canyon right there. There's that little hole down in there. And then you got a bolt that goes in or holds it in. So, anyway, I've still got the old one right here, but I'm just going to go ahead and use the new one because I got the new one. It's in a little bag here. Got some different things in it, mainly the little O-rings and stuff. Sometimes they give you extra parts, so don't flip out if you don't use all your parts. You can flip out if you want to, but I don't suggest it, because a lot of this stuff, all these kits interchange. There's usually a whole string of carburetor application numbers that this does. Now this is a discharge ball. I don't know if you can see that for the accelerator pump. All it does is it lets the accelerator pump push gas out, but it won't let it suck it back in. It's like a one-way valve, because it's just not needed. Well, let me explain that a little bit better. What it is I guess I could have said that a little bit better. It kind of helps direct the flow where the gas, when the accelerator pump compresses down, it wants it to push the gas out the proper circuits. So this is like a little one-way valve type deal. It's, you can look into the theory if you want to know more about it, but that's basically what it is. You just got to have this. Don't leave this out. Just drop it down in there. That's all you do. And then you go to your parts stash here and you look for the right screw that's got, you won't mistake it for any other one. It's got, you see that? You see that? It's got the little stem on it. That's it. There's no washer under this either. It just screws in by itself. Just drop it in. Usually just drops right on. Like I said, be very light, a very light touch. It's a good thing to have working on a carburetor. Because you screw up some threads, you're done. Tighten it up. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next, I'm going to put the needle and seat in. And I'm just looking here. What I do sometimes, I look down in here and I very, very, very lightly check to make sure there's any debris here. Try not to gouge it or anything like that. Just kind of clean this seating surface up if it needs it. They usually look pretty good. But that gasket's got kind of a, whatever, kind of like a little rubbery surface on it. And it's in here with this. It's an little bag, it's got the needle in it and the seat and all that. So be kind of careful with this because it's got this little hanger, a little wire hanger you'll have to have. So take out your new seat and take out the little washer and leave the rest of it alone for right now. Because you don't need it yet. Alright, what I do is just go ahead and put that tied together right there and just carefully, smooth move there, just drop it down where it's supposed to go. And take a screwdriver and get on one of these slots. And it may take you a little bit to get it started. Just go very lightly touch with it. So it just starts screwing right in. Alright. It's okay to go ahead and tighten this up like this. But you don't want to, try not to slip your screwdriver down in there where the needle rests because you can mark it up. Okay. What we got to do now is we're going to put in the filler. This is this thing. And then the power valve, a power piston, and the primary needles going over it. So, oops. Okay, what we're going to do now after we put in the needle and seat assembly, we're going to go ahead and put in the needle and valve. And here it is, that little bag I told you about. And you got your little hanger, which fell out by itself here. So you got to assemble these two things. And you look at it. This is tiny. I can't hardly even show it to you. That's how small it is. It's just a little piece of wire, and it's got a looped end right here. The looped end goes around that top part, the opposite from the rubber on the needle valve. Slips around it like that, and just kind of stays on there. And then you run it back through. You don't put it. If you look on that float, you see. Right there at that end right there, it's got two little holes. Don't run them through the holes. They don't go on the holes. You put them around. You just go on the inside of it. Kind of right in the center. Like that. I hope you can see that. But I didn't put them through the holes. I just slid them up on the end of this float right there. And then you find your hanger, which is right here. Slip it through. And you carefully drop the whole assembly down in here. Sometimes this will pop off a little bit like it just did. Because it's a tight fit, so don't worry about that. Just put it back on. Try it again. First you don't succeed, try again. Alright, there she goes. Just drops down in there. Make sure you have this, you should be looking at something like that. So, Make sure this little wire thing is still sitting on the end of the float. Alright, what we're going to do, we got a filler thing we got to put in. And that's all I call it. I call it a filler's thing. It's just a float filler. Little piece of phenolic plastic. And you put that in. Just drops on like that. And this is the tricky part right here. And you got to be careful with this thing. You can make a screw up if you don't be careful. If this goes down, this is your power piston assembly. It's got these two primary metering rods that are on it, and you have to simultaneously get this put down in here, the piston put down in here, and the primary rods down in the jets. They have to go in the jets, so you've got to fool these things. While don't put much pressure on them, don't be trying to push them and force them. You will screw everything up. You have to just sit here and kind of futz with it, and you'll know when you got it because it'll go all the way down easily like it's supposed to. So you find your spring in here, which is that. Looks like it comes out of an ink pen. Drop that down in there. And you look at your camera to see how many minutes you got on it. And you start attempting this. Now, what I do is, there's no secret formula to it. Because you can't see, you can barely see down in there where this goes. You may have a light. If you got a light, you can use it. It may help you. But you just start looking to try to get them positioned. There's one almost. Because what happens usually, you get one, you can't get the other. And I just usually have to feel for them. So, see, I'm not necessarily trying to push this thing down in here. I'm just using it. There we go. It's in. You see, it went easily. It's going all the way down in there. Now that's, if you've never done this before, it may drive you crazy trying to do this, but you'll get it. Don't feel bad if you don't the first time too. Now this thing's got a little plastic retainer here, and these things can get kind of worn out. So what I do is I push this down in here gently. Screwdriver, you can actually use 2 screwdrivers. Be kind of gentle with it. It's just plastic and it can kind of cause you a problem. But what I do is I just gently try to stake some metal over this to kind of hold it in place, help hold it in place. I'm just kind of moving some metal to kind of tighten it up a little bit right there. So, because this thing is going up and down, you know, every how many times a minute, you know, if you're getting on the gas and stuff, you can imagine there's a lot of stress on it. So. That shouldn't go anywhere. Do a little bit more. And then a little bit more over here. Alright, that should tighten that up, so shouldn't really stand any chance of coming out. Now, okay guys, more fun to come. Let's start a new session.